Olivia here. And guys, remember the murder story I brought, the gossip that was going on in my town after a murder case that happened here? And if you guys didn't see that, please do watch the video. Or if you want to watch this video first, it's okay. But that video is great for context. And there's a lot of updates, like a lot. Like, dude, this was already a debate in the town, but now it's become a frenzy. Like, it's insane. And I don't even think, like, this case wasn't supposed to be like this. It wasn't supposed to become a debate, in my opinion, because, like, it wasn't that complicated. But it not only became that huge debate that I was talking about, that people were taking sides, but now some husbands are becoming frantic. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. Let me give you guys the updates, okay? The juice, the tea. Remember Patricia, the wife of Alen, because Alen, if you didn't see the first video, let me give y'all a quick recap. Alen was married to Patricia. He found out Patricia was doing Dave, and then he shot at Patricia and Dave. Patricia survived. Dave died. That's basically what happened. There's more details, but go back at that video to remember, okay? Because it's a lot of things, and it's not going to fit in this video if I just retell the story. Anyways, Patricia, she decided to go to the jail to see Alen. A lot of people say that it may be to like rekindle or to get Alan's forgiveness, because like the public opinion and everybody online and the stuff, like the people that are commenting on this, they are all on Alan's side. Nobody's on her side. And now some of them have turned on Dave as well, because new information has come out. And get this, the support that Alen was getting only grew bigger. It only grew bigger. Like, people that were kind of on his side are now completely on the old man's side due to the new information. So what happened was she went to the prison to try and talk to him, but from what I heard, I think some of her kids were there at the time, and they were like, no, you're not seeing him. You're not going in. You're not talking to him. You're not talking to him. Go back. Leave. And she was forced to leave. Another thing that happened to Patricia, although the video today is more focused on Dave, but another thing that happened to Patricia was that Patricia needed to find a place to stay, because since she was married to Alen and this whole situation happened, she couldn't exactly go back to Alan's house, so she needed to find a place to crash after she got out of the hospital. But her children were not taking her in. Like, the children that lived in nearby towns and here, they were not taking her in. She tried to look for a place to stay at one of her daughter's place, but her daughter was like, you're not staying here, because like, you're just not, leave, you're leaving, okay, you're leaving, you're not taking you in, you need to find another relative, you need to find someone else, because here you're not staying. But I heard that the reason why this particular daughter did not take her in is because this daughter, along with all the other children, because all of the children are on Alan's side, she was particularly more on his side as well, because she was married to a lawyer, and she got her husband to help out in the case. So she was like, oh, this is conflict of interest. We can't have like one of the victims in the home while we're trying to defend, Alen. So that's not happening. Okay. So they sent her back, which to me is like, still baffles me that all her children are like completely against her in this story and on Alan's side. But I digress. Anyways, what happened was, I got one small detail wrong in the last video, so I feel like I should correct it in this one. Patricia, she's been living like nothing had happened, but she wasn't posting as frequently as I thought she was. So I'd like to correct that. But you want to know who was posting very, very, very frequently online? So you apparently, get this, Dave was not just Patricia's lover. Dave had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend, when all of this went down, started to post to give her opinion and sort of talk about how she was feeling and everything. She started to post, not on like YouTube and stuff like that, because none of the people involved in the story are like YouTubers, Instagrammers, or anything like that, but they were posting on like WhatsApp status. They were posting statuses and talking to people and everything. So get this, he had a girl. So Dave was not just Patricia's lover, he was also cheating on his girl. And another thing I found out, which, by the way, is another reason why the people started to go even more in Alan's favor, is that apparently Dave had a record. He had been apparently accused a few times of hitting his girlfriends or lovers. So people were like, yeah. See, I knew the dude deserved to die. That's what people were thinking, and what they're like saying, commenting. They're like, oh, yeah. But what's insane about the story is that another update that there was that the children went to visit Alan in jail, right? And Alan told them how it was in jail and everything. And the criminals whom he interacted with in jail had some opinions as well as to the case and what he did. Apparently, when they found out why he was in jail and stuff like that, some of the criminals told him that he did a great job and that the only mistake he made was not killing Patricia, because they claimed that the person in the story that deserved to die the most was Patricia, which is insane to me, because not only the criminal said this, but he later commented it with like his children when they went to visit him in jail, and they sort of told the rest of the people because everybody's just eating up the story and just spreading it like wildfire. But what was insane to me was that the people in the town, they were agreeing with the criminals. They were like, yeah, the person that deserved to die was Patricia. And I'm over here thinking, oh my gosh, these people are insane. Like serious, like look, I know I laugh a lot and I know I smile a lot and I know I joke, okay? But I don't think, and I said this in my first video, I don't think that this situation warranted murder. I don't think that like murder is justified in this case in particular. You know what I mean? I don't think murder is justified. And people are just like, oh yeah, he was totally right. And you know what? He should have killed the woman as well. Like it's insane. I have yet to find someone who is not on Alan's side. It's like it, you know what I mean? And it just comes to show that I'm like, I feel like I'm living in the wrong place. I genuinely feel like that, but I can't escape for now. So I gotta do with what I gotta do, you know? But anyways, meanwhile, get this. Meanwhile, not only was it found out that Dave had a record, but apparently rumor around the town is saying that before Alan actually, did something or shot Dave, because remember, he had said that he would kill Dave and Patricia. This was something he had said outwardly. He had told people this, but he was smart about it. Because before the incident happened, before someone tipped him off about Dave being at his house, the rumor around town is that he had sort of gotten a, what's the name for it? He had sort of, I forgot the name. He had went to the law to ask that Dave couldn't approach the house or him for a certain, distance. I forgot the name of that. I'm sorry, I forgot the name. But that's basically what he did. And again, this is not confirmed. I am just sharing the gossip. But this detail in particular, there's no actual evidence and nothing to like confirm it. It's just something that some people have commented on, including my mother, because she thinks that this could work really in his favor. And get this. Apparently Patricia is also talking, and Patricia said that she tried to run over Alan. She claims that, oh, of course I wasn't just observing everything happen. I tried to run over Alan. But here's the thing, if she tried to run over Alan, she's shooting herself in her own foot. Because if she's outwardly claiming that she tried to kill Alan, then he could just as well claim that he did it in self-defense. She is, in a very dumb way, I'm sorry, but it's dumb. You're in a very compromising position where everyone's against you, and you're claiming to have tried to run him over. You're giving him his defense. His defense lawyers ain't gonna have to do shit. You know what I mean? And not just that, by the way. Remember when I said like his relatives were coming and people were trying to defend him and a lot of people were trying to defend him? Just so you get the scope, the dude does not have just one lawyer, and he's poor. He's not rich. Remember, he's poor. He doesn't have just one lawyer. He's got four. Four. One of them is married to Patricia's daughter, and the others I don't know who they are, but they just appeared and they were like, "Oh, we defending Alan," and I don't think they're even doing it for the money. I think they just united. You know what I mean? It's insane. But anyways, um, along with that, that's not everything that went down. There's more. Remember Dave's leaked messages? Well, his phone, I don't know who got it, but the person who has access to his phone has been sharing some more details. And get this, Dave was not just his girlfriend and Patricia's lover. No, the dude had a huge list of lovers, and it went on. And like some of them started to get like exposed, like, oh, Dave was doing this girl, or Dave was doing Alina, or Dave was doing Anna, and and these were being backed up by leaked messages, were like leaked profile pics and stuff, and the people started going crazy because the husbands in the towns are now all paranoid because they think that Dave was doing their girls. So the husbands are checking out the women's phones, and it's become this huge frenzy where they're like, "Who the heck did Dave do besides all these girls that are already confirmed?" And the girls, the women, that had a case with him, tried to start hiding the fact that they had a case with him because now there's these multitude of husbands trying to figure out if they were cheated on and if Dave was the lover of their wives as well. And there's also the debate going around that Alan was in his right to kill Dave and that Dave deserved to die. So now you've got a bunch of scared women with a bunch of grown ass men, and it's insane. And one of the women, by the way, tried to hide the fact, according to the rumors, tried to hide the fact that she had been having a fling with Dave as well. And it did not work. She was caught. They found out that she was one of the many, many, many women that Dave was doing. And She blocked, like, she tried to like delete the messages and block Dave so that her husband wouldn't catch on to the fact that she was also Dave's lover. And what happened was one of his friends was like, oh, you know what we should do, this was his number, try to add it on the phone and check if she had something with him. And then they found out that she had blocked Dave, and then upon more digging in, they found out that she was one of his lovers and that she blocked him in an attempt to cover up the affair. And now the and now all the husbands are worried because they're like, okay, what if my wife was doing Dave, you know? And at the same time, a bunch of men are like, oh, Dave was right. So some of the women are thinking like, holy shit, we're screwed because Dave died. His phone is in the hands of, I don't know who, I think it's his family. I don't know who exactly has his phone, but these women are like worried, and these men as well. And there's like this huge debate now going around, the people like trying to figure out and theorize who Dave was doing. And I'm like, a freaking person died, a murder case went on, and everybody's like cracking their heads to trying to figure out who the guy who died was doing. And I'm like, yeah, my town, I think they live in a different dimension. I'm starting to think that I'm in a different dimension. Like this is weird. Because you got everybody defending the fact that the dude murdered. Oh, another thing, I just remembered a detail. Remember when I said he wasn't going to stay in jail for long? Well, apparently his arrest, it was like one of those arrests where they arrest a person for a short amount of time until they decide if they're going to keep him in jail or like, if they're going to release him, which like 90% of the people think, oh, he's going to be released. This isn't going to go anywhere, you know? And to make matters worse, nobody is sort of like on Patricia or Dave's side, especially after people found out that Dave was a woman beater and that he had been doing half the women in the town. So like now nobody, if there was one soul that was on Patricia's side, I think that that soul has went to the other side. Okay, there's nobody on Patricia's side, and this story is just insane. And my throat's kind of weird today. Anyways, and the time that they estimated that he would be incarcerated for is 30 days, approximately 1 month. So if nothing goes on, if the law decides, oh, it was self-defense because thanks to Patricia, now the lawyers have actual like defense. She basically gave it to them. But before that, Alan had also sort of kind of did that thing where he went to the law and asked to have like a restriction order. I remembered the name, restriction order. He asked to have like a restriction order for Dave. I don't know if that's true, but if that is true, then that means that all the evidence in a weird way is going to point towards self-defense. But everybody knows it wasn't self-defense. Like the people in town know it wasn't self-defense, but the lawyers can use that as a means to get him out. Which, by the way, if Patricia isn't like really, really, really dumb, which in my opinion she is, because like someone said, I'm going to kill you if you cheat, and she goes and cheats anyways. So like I'm already like, Patricia's not the brightest, little bulb. But if Patricia is trying, let's say this is a theory of mine, okay? If Patricia is trying to get Alan to forgive her, especially due to the backlash and how everyone is reacting, if Patricia is trying to get Alan to forgive her, then giving him in a weird way a way out is maybe her attempt at that if she's like smarter. But I don't think she's that smart to have thought that far ahead to be like, oh, I purposely said that I tried to run you over because that would give you a lesser sentence. I don't think she did that on purpose. I just think she's trying to kind of tilt the scale to her side since everybody's on his side, and she's trying to be like, oh, I tried to defend myself. I tried to save Dave. I wasn't completely, letting the man die, or I wasn't just observing or stuff, because remember the two cars were like close, and he shot like what was pop, pop, two bullets, one killed, one didn't. So I don't really know what she's trying to get or what her thought process was in saying that she tried to run him over, because I don't really think that helps her, especially in a case that's still under investigation and the public opinion is majority against her. I don't think saying, I tried to run over my husband is the best way to do it. But anyways, those were the updates. I just felt like I had to throw that out because I felt like, okay, I already told the gossip that was like going on around this case initially. So I gotta bring the updates because it's just escalating. It's just escalating. And according to my mother's theory, my mother believes that this case is gonna have an immense negative towards the town because she believes that now a lot of men are going to learn from it and try to like kill off their spouses or their spouse's lovers, and this could lead to like a mass like cases of murders, which I can understand where she's coming from, and I understand like why she believes that, because the amount of people that are like literally like make, they're practically his fans for killing the guy. So I can understand the logic behind that. I feel like my mom in a way is right. This is not going to have a positive impact on the town at all. Not that murder ever had a positive impact, but like the reaction and how people are oddly enough in favor of the murderer, it's I got no words. I got no words, you know. So anyways, yeah, bye.